Man, you want to talk about a content guy? Man, we got some content going up today as we're here. Yeah.
We're good audio-wise.
Everything's great.
I can't flip these screens.
Love that. Love that.
I won't have cameras for the first
Got it right here. I'm good.
maybe 10 minutes.
Perfect.
All right.
We're golden. Thank you. Appreciate everything. Kidding me? This is great.
All right.
Who's got it better than us?
Oh,
Well, it's not the Niners. Can't say it's the Niners this year. That's for sure.
Playoffs.
Bang, bang, Niner fan. Yeah, Harbaugh's going. Yep, not with the Niners. What's happening, everybody? You're getting a bonus monologue. Bonus monologue. Sound good? We sounding good, everybody? Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. You'll be able to hear my audio. Maybe I can get some audio here of the callers. 1 second.
Plays. Can you just put the return bit on so JT can hear it, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Not in queue, right? You're talking like all the way up with the fader up, right?
Yep, just turn it up all the way.
You got it.
Headset to be like my headset's on, so I can hear everything.
Yeah, it should be on.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking. Yep, perfect. Perfect.
Like it normally.
You got it. Thanks. All right, we got a few minutes here. Any topic that you want to hit on right here in the open, let me know. Let me think. Let me know what you're thinking. Oh, I just got a text from the Raiders head coach at 10:30 in the morning, and that'll be the last thing I do. I got one more show tomorrow, man. I worked hard this year, man. I worked a lot of shifts, and I'm blessed to be able to do that. And we're coming to the end of the new year. No break, no vacation, straight through the Super Bowl. Yep. Yeah, Del Mar Country Club. Yeah, this is Wynn Resort, the super resort in Vegas on the Strip. All right, Mission Control, Sirius XM in New York. Welcome to Las Vegas. Yes. Final Mad Dog show of 2027 right now. No, 2024, excuse me. What am I thinking? 2027. Can't think that far ahead. 2024.
All right, I'm back here.
How's everyone doing? How's the weather back in New York?
Not too shabby. It rained a lot overnight, but it was a beautiful day today.
Nice. We had gorgeous weather out here in Vegas today, too.
Nice. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hopefully we're done with the freezing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Saquan Barkley became just the 9th member of the
There's your return feed.
Yep.
Cowboys. Barkley needs 101 yards to beat Eric Dickerson's single-season mark, which has stood for 40 years. The NFC East champs locked at the 2 seed. Bill Belichick weighed in on whether Barkley should play or rest against his former team, the Giants.
I mean, in the end, I think the records are going to, they're going to kind of come and go, and their personal records mean a lot. But at the same time, the respect of the team probably means more. And Saquon's had other opportunities in other games to pile up some yards at the end of the game, and he's chosen not to do that. So I think probably winning Super Bowls are more important to him.
Belichick on Let's Go, which was on Mad Dog Sports Radio 82. The replay.
He would know about Super Bowls.
Monday Night Football, Lions 49ers,
Mhm.
15 Eastern, Sirius XM, NFL Radio 88. And a rematch of Vegas.
1 minute.
Yep.
Game which Detroit lost. San Fran now playoff bound this time around. The Lions and Vikings battling for the NFC 1 seed. Minnesota and Detroit will meet in Sunday night's finale. Cowboys EVP Stephen Jones praising Coach Mike McCarthy, saying McCarthy is, quote, done a great job considering the challenges we've had, end quote. Jones added his staff will be impressed after this season. NFL Network reports Ron Rivera will meet with the Jets about their head coaching vacancy this week. Rex Ryan also expects to speak to the team, as he discussed on ESPN Radio New York. Number 19, Missouri beats Iowa 27-24 to win the Music City Bowl. Underway on Sirius XM, NBA Radio 86. Knicks visit the Wizards, while the Hornets host the Bulls, Clippers, and Pelicans in the Eastern. Tennessee still number 1 at the AP Men's College Hoops Poll, and hockey. Rangers Panthers.
All right, guys, 10 seconds here coming in. Let's have a good show.
Welcome to Mad Dog Sports Radio Tonight, your home for the best sports talk, great opinions, and live updates on the evening's biggest games. Join the conversation at 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. The sports night is just getting started, and this is Mad Dog Sports Radio Tonight. Now, here's your host, JT the Brick.
Out of the gate, JT coming to you live from the Super Resort Wynn, Vegas. Wow, great to be here every Monday night. Been here a lot for 2024, and it's my last show of 2024. Thanks to everyone on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM, Jeremiah Crow, and the entire team here. We discovered the Wynn this year. I knew about the Wynn when it opened with Steve Wynn, but once we found out about Sirius XM's partnership here with the Wynn Resort and how they relaunched this studio, it's fantastic. I get a chance to get out of my home studio, get out of my office studio, and come down here once a week, walk through this super casino where I do believe they pump in oxygen. They do pump in fresh oxygen. It smells good. It looks good. It's amazing. People are spending money. They're gambling. We're a free country in Vegas. They don't have any clocks there. You don't have to go to bed at night. They don't say, hey, the bar closed at 1. Get to the elevator. Go to bed. They let you do anything here. It's the adult entertainment sports capital of the world. And again, my last show of the year, I tend to get very sentimental. And I hope you do too when it comes to sports. Life is more important, but sometimes sports is more important to life than many of us and our listeners who are great sports fans. We have the Lions and the Niners in about 56 minutes. A really important game, a very important game. First off, the Niners have been great, not good, great for the last 5 years. As good as any team in football. They went to 2 Super Bowls and lost them all, from Jimmy Garoppolo to Brock Purdy. They're out of the playoffs this year. This is a must-win game for Detroit. Now, Detroit's the team I picked to win the Super Bowl before the start of the year. I'd like to see them win the Super Bowl. They've never won. I'd like to see Buffalo win the Super Bowl. They've never won. And the most important thing is I don't want Kansas City to win and have a three-peat. So that kind of sums up my year this year. I want to see Detroit win, or someone like Buffalo who's never won. And next year in 2025, I don't want to have to be there in New Orleans, or probably coming home from New Orleans. I plan on being in New Orleans the whole week, maybe from Tuesday to Saturday or Sunday, not go to the game, and then come back. I've been to 12 Super Bowls in my life, maybe one more, but around 12 if I can remember. And I have no interest in seeing Kansas City win again. So my complete focus in the first part of 2025 is to see Kansas City go down. I think Detroit's the best team in football. I think they've been the best team in football all year. But they're even with Minnesota, and the Vikings have played exceptional football, and the Eagles are playing great with Saquon Barkley. But I think the only true team in the Super Bowl that can beat Kansas City is Detroit. And saying all of that, Detroit's had more injuries than every team in the league. Number 1. Think about that. Usually the teams with the most injuries are the teams that have been eliminated from the postseason weeks ago. No, it's the Detroit Lions, and the Lions, with all their players on IR gone, They're decimated on the defensive side of the ball. I still think they have the moxie to win the Super Bowl. But going into Santa Clara, remember, it's not San Francisco. They had it beautiful in San Francisco. Candlestick, I would have knocked it down and rebuilt right there, or I would have built right down next to Oracle, the baseball stadium there, and the dog patch right around where the Warriors play. And the Niners should be playing there. They play in Santa Clara. They lost many of the faithful who don't want to go to Santa Clara. They built the stadium that's already out of date. Even the Niner fans will tell you that the stadium they built a short time ago is already out of date, very similar to MetLife with the Giants and the Jets. But the Niners have 5 Super Bowls. Joe Montana, Steve Young, the great Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, and they know how to win. So I don't think the Niners are going to roll over tonight. Brock Purdy wants to have a great going out party. He wants to get paid. He wants anywhere from 50 to 60 million. I would not pay Brock Purdy anywhere near 50, 60 million, but he's probably going to get it because Sam Darnold was a backup over there, a backup for Kyle Shanahan, and he's going to get 50 million blindfolded for the way he's playing with Minnesota if he wants to leave. So I think the Niners have something to prove. Brock Purdy, 2-4 in his last 6 home starts, 10-2 in his first 14 at home. So Purdy's got a lot to play for tonight, and they want to play spoiler with Detroit, and they did last year. Remember, they knocked them out of the playoffs last year when Detroit had a big lead and couldn't handle that type of success. So that game's coming up. If you have a prediction on the game, if you want to talk about this game, 888-623-3646 is the number. I'm on YouTube at JT the Brick YT on nights where you can't get me, and I'm on X at JT the Brick if you want to get right into the show. Man, I've had a problem with X lately, the former Twitter of Elon Musk, man. People are just getting mean. People are getting brutal. They're yelling at me because the Raiders are winning games. The first time in my career where I'm fighting fans because a team is winning games, not losing games. They're winning games, and they're blaming me for winning. That's a first. 27 years uninterrupted in sports radio. Proud of my career. It's the first time ever, as my guy Stephen A. would say, that fans of the team I work for are yelling at me because the team is winning games. And the Giants had the first pick overall in the NFL draft, and they decided to win and beat Indianapolis, and they went from 1-4. So as we're dealing with fans who are trying to tank, it's my reminder again to tell fans you got to be pretty ignorant or pretty dumb if you think coaches and players are going to lose on purpose. You as a fan might want to lose for a mythical draft pick like Cam Ward or Shador or Travis Hunter. Man, neither of those guys looked really great. Travis Hunter had a good game, but the rest of the guys didn't look great there. Be careful what you wish for. And the New England Patriots now have the number 1 pick in the draft, and they don't need a quarterback. They have Drake May, who looks really good to me. Excellent player like Jaden Daniels. Caleb Williams was taken number 1 overall last year, and he looks like he's afraid of a shadow. Caleb needs to kind of just rinse off the nail polish and kind of get some friends around him and kind of go out there and start playing football again. What a train wreck from Chicago with Caleb Williams to Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. Mess. All right, let's begin with last night. I was on the air on this platform last night where Jaden Daniels was making big plays, but it was Michael Penix Jr. who on a 4th down had to score a touchdown to keep the game alive. He was able to do it by finding Kyle Pitts.
Penix out of the gun with Robinson next to him. Drops back to pass. Throws toward the end zone. Diving catch made by Pitts. Oh, man, he scores. The Falcons are a point away from tying it with 1:19 to play.
That was unbelievable. What a throw. That's what you call a bullet. He threw a bullet, and the ball came out beautiful. And Penix, I don't think Penix gave him a better chance than Kirk Cousins, who used to play for the Commanders, a very good player in this league, the king of the guaranteed contract. But Penix played good enough. And if they missed the playoffs, they gave, I think, Kirk Cousins a lot of time to kind of get it right. He couldn't do it. And Michael Penix is the quarterback of the future. He looked exceptional in that game. He played the way he's supposed to play. I thought they sat him perfectly in Atlanta, and they broke the glass in case of emergency, and he did well enough for me. Jaden Daniels made the pass to Zach Ertz. This was the game winner as the Commanders win in overtime.
Zacchaeus comes in motion. Daniels takes the snap, looks left, throws left, pass is caught. Touchdown, Commanders. Zach Ertz to the postseason for the first time since 2020.
Yep, they were able to do that, and that is on Westwood One, the call there. So no doubt about that. So that's how it played out for Jaden Daniels. What a pick. He'll be the rookie of the year, deservedly so. He's a hell of a player. A lot of teams wanted to trade up to get him, and everybody, please remember, he was not available at all in a trade. Multiple teams would have given up 3 first-round picks, and the Commanders didn't even pick up the phone. He was not available for 3 first-round picks, for 3 of them. So that's how good he is. If you want to trade up and get a quarterback, you might need 4. You might need 4 picks to go up and get him. This year, I don't think so, because I don't think the quarterback class is as strong as the quarterback class was last year. I mean, come on, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, to see the quarterback play. How about that draft overall? Brock Bowers broke the all-time reception record for a rookie, all-time, beating Puka Nacua. How about that? So we've seen some good rookies come in and play well. Back to the Commander game for Dan Quinn afterwards. Really excited in the locker room on how this team was able to finish at home.
It was cool. The guys were gassed for sure. They emptied the tank tonight, but there was a lot of joy, honestly. And just knowing I really thought this was a real demonstration of their connection.
They were connected. That team came together because of their new owner. They ran Daniel Snyder out of there finally. Finally, the NFL got rid of Daniel Snyder, who hurt a lot of people on the way out. He hurt a lot of people on the way out, not only in the Commanders organization or outside the organization, like John Gruden, whose emails were plucked through another server of Bruce Allen, who was the president there, and took him out when he had the 5-2 Raiders humming there. So Daniel Snyder out, new ownership in, including Magic Johnson, and the fan base is energized and they're winning games. Congratulations to the Washington Commanders. So I was on the air last night here, and a lot of fans started getting on Twitter, and a couple called me about Raheem Morris and the bad clock management. He had 2 timeouts late in regulation, and he didn't burn one of the timeouts as they were trying to get in field goal range, or at least try to get in the range to go win the game. Here's what Raheem Morris said after.
Probably could have. I thought we can get to the line of scrimmage with our operation, be a little bit faster there, get him there without going on fast on our ball, try to save that timeout. In hindsight, could have been a good decision or a better decision to take that timeout. But I wanted to have the opportunity to move up there. So, you can always second guess those things. You can always second guess those motives. You can always go back and look at it and see if you can get it snapped a little bit quicker. But I really believe we can get our operation time a little bit faster there to be able to save that timeout.
I always find it fascinating when head coaches can't handle the clock or the timeouts, because they all have a paid consultant sitting up in the booth, and the paid consultant's there, and he makes, I don't know, $1 million or $600,000 to tell him, hey, throw the flag. Hey, challenge this play. Hey, he didn't get his feet in bounds. He did get his feet in bounds. And Raheem Morris is trying to figure out the clock. He's got 2 timeouts, and he holds on to them. What was he thinking there? After Mooney's catch, that was a bad moment for a head coach, and the season was on the line. Raheem Morris could be the reason why they missed the playoffs to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because he didn't handle the clock down the stretch. You can't make a mistake with the clock with under 50 seconds, 40 seconds to go and it clicking when you got 2 timeouts. Call one and then hold the other one for an opportunity to take shots in the end zone. Devastating for all those Atlanta fans out there. Packers and the Vikings, Sam Darnold, he's having a typical MVP year, but he can't win it this year because the 3 quarterbacks ahead of him and the running back, Saquon Barkley, are having all 4 for the ages here. What a performance by Sam Darnold. This 18-yard touchdown to Jordan Addison.
Play action, and Sam throws to the right, throws to Addison, caught, touchdown! Jordan Addison with his 9th receiving touchdown this year. The Vikings have a 19-3 lead.
Paul Allen on Vikings Radio. We had him on last Monday night on this show, and look, they win again, and they got an unbelievable game coming up with Detroit on Sunday Night Football. Matt LaFleur of Green Bay, after the game, was asked about the fact that they're losing to all the elite teams in the division in front of them.
I think absolutely. I think there absolutely is a belief that we can win one of these games. We got to go do it, bottom line. And we got to earn the right to play these guys again. And it ain't going to be easy. It's going to be a tough road, but I think that's a challenge that we'll gladly accept.
And finally, let's hear from Sam Darnold. I think it's a fascinating sports radio topic on where he's going to end up. It truly is a great topic. The guy bounced around from the Jets to Carolina to the 49ers. He finally finds a home here, a good one, where He has no pressure because it's not his team. It was supposed to be J.J. McCarthy's, and he comes in and plays at this level. He's going to get $50 million either from the Vikings or go to another team. Now, typically I would think that Sam Darnold would have to win some playoff games for the Vikings to say, look, we want to have you back again. I don't think he does. Darnold had such a phenomenal season that I think the Vikings, who have never won a Super Bowl in franchise history, are going to look around and say, we got a great one, and he's perfect with Kevin O'Connell, our head coach. Even though J.J. McCarthy's our quarterback of the future, he's coming off an injury. Let's pay Darnold. Let's pay him a lot of money and keep him here. The Vikings can't afford to let someone like Darnold walk. Here's Sam Darnold after the game, obviously paying a pat on the back to his teammates.
Obviously, another great team win tonight. Yeah, I thought our defense started out really, really fast. Thought we could have been a lot better, early on. But we kind of got going there during the middle, when we, kind of double dipped there at the end of the second quarter. And then to start the third quarter, I thought that was really good for us to be able to get that field goal and then get the touchdown coming out. Felt like, we executed at a high level.
He did exercise at a high level, man. That team is awesome. There are 3 or 4 great teams, including the Eagles, the dirty, stinking, green, drunk birds of Philadelphia are in a great position right now. Let's hear from Saquon Barkley. Let's hear the run. This is the run to get him over 2,000 yards, a milestone in Philadelphia.
Barkley breaks the tackle. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He is at the 25-yard line. He is down at the 25-yard line. Let's see what he has right now as he goes to the 25-yard line. He has just broken the 2,000-yard rushing mark. Saquon Barkley goes into NFL history.
All right, I believe, and that's Eagles Radio, that you play him the first half against the Giants and you let him get the record. He needs 100 yards. He should be able to do that. You got to let him play. You spend your whole life trying to get a record like that. It's a 40-year record. It's a very important record. No one will ever break Emmitt Smith's all-time rushing record. Let me repeat that. No one will ever break Emmitt Smith's record of all-time yardage. It'll never be broken. Running backs don't have that role anymore. It's a pass-happy league. That being said, someone could break Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season record. You got to let him do it. It's important to him when he's 50, 60 years old. I know the Super Bowl's more important, but there are better teams than the Eagles now. I'd let the kid break the record, give him a chance to do it, then get him out of the game. And if he comes close and you want to pull him, if he's 40 yards away in the fourth quarter, you think it's too risky, do what you got to do. And then finally, you got to hear from Aaron Rodgers. This is the worst case scenario that I've seen in quite some time. That Aaron Rodgers came to the Jets, came out with the American flag on the opening Monday night 2 seasons ago, blew out his Achilles after 4 plays, rehabs it, comes back, does an amazing job for his family, friends, and teammates to rehab that injury faster than anyone at that age who's ever had an ACL, ever anywhere around the world. And they came up craps. They were an embarrassment to the Jets organization this year. He came out of the game. He should have came out of the game down 33-0. Aaron Rodgers on where it went wrong.
2 times we played him this year. We moved the ball pretty well and just hurt ourselves. We scored more points in the first one, obviously. But when you watch that first one back, we had plenty of chances to win the game. Today we moved the ball well. First 2 drives, no points. Then after that, the game got away from us.
It got away from him. I believe that Aaron Rodgers still has something in the tank. I think he humbly has to take a pay cut and go to another team where he could be a starter. I have 3 teams where he could be a lock to be a starter next year. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's been humbled a bit. We'll see if he's humbled next year, but he is not done and he needs to play. My final show of the year, let's hear from some great callers. We'll start off with one of the best, Chris in West Oakland. Happy New Year, Chris. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, JT, Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm gonna hit a few quick subjects and get out of here. First, to me at the Raiders yesterday. Look, I know the fan base is losing their mind. 2 things can be true. In this grand scheme of things for the future of the organization, yeah, winning a couple of meaningless games probably isn't the best thing. But reality needs to creep into these people's minds at some point. Players don't prepare all week. They don't take the field in a dangerous, violent sport with the idea to lose. My hat's off to Antonio Pierce. Do we want him back next year? Does he deserve a second year? That's a subject after the year to talk about. But as of right now, I got nothing but respect for the guy. He clearly hasn't mailed it in. And in a season that's been over since well before Halloween, these guys have never stopped playing. They show up, they play hard every week. They're usually just not good enough, but effort is not the reason. And if I'm Antonio Pierce and I have to make a case to Mark Davis for getting a second year, that's what I'm hanging my hat on. I haven't lost the locker room. These guys still play hard for me. We'll see how it goes down the road. But talk about that game last night. I know I got to move on, but the reason I wanted Michael Penix is what you saw. All due respect to Aiden O'Connell, the way Penix throws the ball is just different. The way Daniels, Bo Nix, stud young quarterbacks, the ball just comes out different. That touchdown he threw at the end of the game with their season on the line was a frozen rope that only, I won't say a handful, but probably 10 guys in the NFL have the physical ability to fire a strike in the middle of three guys like that and get the job done. And Raheem Morris might have cost themselves the playoffs. I know it's easy to sit in the TV set, JT, and say this and that. You make that catch at midfield with 2 timeouts left, and you lose 25 seconds and have to kick a 57-yard field goal that the guy left 6 yards short instead of moving it another 20 yards. I'm not going to say it's the kind of thing that gets a coach fired, but it's the kind of thing that gets a coach fired. You cannot go brain dead in that situation with your season on the line. But moving forward, like I said, the quarterback situation in the NFL with these young guns is in good hands when the older guys start retiring. Let me hit the NBA real quick, JT.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot on here. That's why I love the night show. I don't get a chance to talk in your day show as much about this. You want to know why the ratings are down? I'm a diehard Warrior fan. Let's go to last Friday. Warriors play the Clippers. How'd you like to be a father that spent a crap load of money on tickets to see the Warriors come in and play the Clippers in L.A.? Or that kid that gets that ticket. Then you show up on that Friday night, and there's Steph Curry in his street clothes, hooting and hollering, eating peanuts on the sideline, not a care in the world because it's a back-to-back game. For a team that's 500 and going to struggle to stay out of the play-in tournament. I'm tired of hearing about these athletes nowadays. Oh, they're bigger, stronger, faster. The older guys couldn't play. Yet these guys don't want to play back-to-backs. They make $50 and $60 million a year. And then you wonder why fans are getting tired of this crap. They're tired because stars don't want to show up and earn their tens of millions of dollars every year. So that's all I got to say about that. But mainly I called tonight, JT, final show of the year. I do this with you every year. Another year in the books, man. We're all a year older. We made it through. Happy New Year, my friend. Thank you for all the years of letting me get on here and rant like a madman and pretty much say whatever I want to say. To all the longtime callers that are out there, you know who you are. We've been listening to each other for years. Everybody, Happy New Year. Be safe. I'll be on the radio after the first of the year, talking the crap that I always do. But everybody be safe on New Year's Eve. Thank you, my brother.
Thanks, Chris. Love the loyal callers that followed me to this platform on Mad Dog Sports Radio and catch me on the other ones too. I got to get out here. Chris Myers from the NFL on Fox at the bottom of the hour, a play-by-play voice on some of the coaches that haven't been able to handle the clock. And do you sit your players or do you let them play a bit? Do you end the momentum that you built all season, or is rest a priority? We'll get to that next. JT from Wynn Vegas. This is Mad Dog Sports Radio. We are. Thank you. So I'll go quick and then I'll get out quick and get to Chris. Yep.
I caught a tiny echo at the beginning. I think it was that.
Okay.
Your mic.
Okay. So maybe I'll throw that over there. Yeah. There you go.
All this stuff's like,
Well, we'll
we had a power surge or something.
Well, when you
So everything was completely dark, reset.
is it that easy to reset? It's not.
It's not.
Dude, that's the value of you, man.
I've got like 4 engineers working on it.
All from serious house here.
Back in New York, DC, and I got it here. I told them, just get out there. You want to have that nonsense with the interview ready. Yes. Just so you know, I told them the whole lot.
Anyways, we were talking about that, right? Right, in underwear and Old Navy pants. And
Yes, Steve Torrey's been told to do as many shows as possible.
Well, maybe that helps in the big picture.
Sure.
Right?
I had nothing to do.
Yeah,
You good?
you got it.
I like hanging out with you.
Same here.
Talking ball.
And Hawking ball. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, man, we got to get more people in this YouTube thing when I do this, man. 10, 20 people's fun, but, we got 400 during the day. So we got to get people at night to kind of get going here. So start sharing this YouTube if you can with me. Hit share and send it out to a couple other people, man. I don't mind working for free, but we got to keep these numbers up, man, and keep it going. All right, what else is going on here? And I wonder if the Niners are going to put up a fight tonight, man. I think they will. Don't you think the Niners put up a little fight tonight? Yeah, that's a proud franchise. What's the line move? So it started Detroit -4 and went to 3.5. Ooh. Mm-hmm.
I think this is a big enough game where they'll kind of get up for it with the opponent, but we'll see.
28-3.
Maybe. All right, guys, back in 10.
This is Mad Dog Sports Radio Tonight, keeping you up to date on all the things happening in the world of sports. Here's JT the Brick.
JT back from Win Vegas. Got a nice crowd outside the glass. We call them the looky-loos. Kids and parents and everybody coming here to celebrate the holidays. We were talking before you came back here about the line movement here in this game. Originally, Lions, Niners, you go way back with this initial line and you wonder what it's going to be. And now it's the Lions -4. There's a 3.5 out there. There's a 4 there. So we're having a little debate here in studio about what could happen here. And one of the points I want to make that we just agreed on, the Niners have a proud franchise, man. This is a home game for the San Francisco 49ers. They're no joke. They went through tremendous injuries this year in adversity. They don't roll over. When was the last time you saw the 49ers roll over in anything in life? Say what you will. You don't have to be a Niner fan. Bang, bang, Niner gang. This team plays their ass off whenever they play, period. They've been a very good team. Okay, they went through adversity this year. They're going to try to keep the window open to win a championship again down the road. You better believe they have something to play for. There's a nationally televised game, Monday Night Football. Jerry Rice is in the house, Steve Young. This team's no joke. I don't know. I don't think the Niners are going to win. I like the Lions to win and cover the spread because it means everything to them to go from the 1 seed to the 5. But I got a lot of respect for the way the Niners play football. They play hard. Mike in Atlanta, you're on Mad Dog Sports Radio. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, JT, how you doing? I was
Doing
going to
well.
make 2 comments, one about the Falcons, one about the Jets, if I could.
Mhm.
First of all, on the Falcons, there was a quote from Penix after the game, said something to the effect of, hey, we follow the head coach. We are, he tells us we're doing this, we're doing this. It's good from a loyalty perspective, but horrible if he's marching you over the cliff. And, I would not, I would not let Raheem Morris have a long leash at all next year. If you start blowing games like this, I mean, it is, to use an NBA expression, it's Cancun on 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Saints are not going to give us any favors here with the Buccaneers. So you're done. This is it. And there's plenty of optimism with Penix, and I certainly agree. But you blew a chance here. You really blew a chance, and you can't do it.
No, you can't. You nailed it. And Raheem Morris is a well-respected coach. Thank you. I thought he was more of a great coordinator than a great head coach. Thanks for the call. You can't let a blown call with a timeout. You can't hold on to a timeout with an opportunity to win a game in a division where you could be tied with the win. And I just watched New Orleans yesterday. The Raiders won and hammered them. New Orleans is probably the worst team in football right now. Even though New England has the number 1 pick overall, the Giants have been a dumpster fire. The Raiders lost 10 in a row. You take a look at the last 2 weeks, New Orleans is the only team in football to be shut out, and then they lost to the Raiders and were never in the game. They kind of were in the game, but the Raiders hammered them when they had to. I mean, New Orleans was 1 of 10 on 3rd down. New Orleans is brutally bad. So if you're looking for some help and you're an Atlanta fan, I doubt you're going to get it. When we come back, Chris Myers, his new book is out and doing well. He's off his book tour. He's going to join us in his regular time slot on some of the coaches, clock and time management and what's happening. And no such thing as a meaningless game. Or there are meaningless games. It sure looks like that as the schedule approaches up for Week 18. We'll get to Chris Myers coming up. We'll take your phone calls at 888-623-3646. And we'll look back on some of the greatest names that we lost this year. I'm going to begin first with Pete Rose. I lost my good friend. Pete gave me a big, big opportunity in my career. He helped get me started in my career. He did me a great favor by letting me co-host the Pete Rose Show. When I started off, we remained friends throughout his entire life. I miss him terribly. The all-time hit king should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. As Reggie Jackson told me on Mad Dog Sports Radio, it was a lifetime ban. His life is over. Let him into Cooperstown in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He paid his penance. He paid the price for gambling as a manager of the Cincinnati Reds. He's not going into the Hall of Fame as a manager. He'd be going into the Hall of Fame as the all-time hit king who was never accused of gambling on baseball as a player. It's time to forgive Pete Rose as Pete Rose has passed away. He's the first name of some of the many we lost this year, and I'll get to as many as I can on my final show of the year. When we come back, Chris Myers from the NFL on Fox. But here's Rob Brender now with your Mad Dog Sports Bite.
Mad Dog Sports Radio. Sports Bite.
All right, JT, we're about 42 minutes away from kickoff in Santa Clara, California. It'll be the 13-2 Lions taking on the 6-9 49ers. You can hear all the pregame coverage and play-by-play action over on SiriusXM NFL Radio. That is Channel 88. Some news with the teams heading into next week in the